Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Desperate Measures. Sorry for the long break. It's my fault this time. So, first things first. Ebner wants to raise a zombie.
Well, first I want to visit a tailor of the town tailor.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to get basically like mummy wrappings or something like that to like wrap a person with, as well as like a hooded, like Nazgul-esque thing. So I want to buy those.
Sure. He can get you bandages, and he can get you a hood.
Cool. A full like robe hood, so it like covers
hooded cloak. Yeah. Hooded robe. Totally.
Cool. That's what I'll do. Then I will go to the crypt. I'd like to bless the crypt. Let's just say I took like 4 blesses. I don't know. Just bless everywhere around because I don't think I've done that yet. Holy.
You've got time.
And then bandage up the guy, put on the cloak on the body, and then I would like to do the animate dead on the necromancer.
Animate dead. All right. You will turn him into a zombie then. And he is animated before you. The now bandaged, cloaked figure gives a bit of a groan.
If I tell him to quiet down, like remain silent, no noises.
The noises stop. The body lays in the sarcophagus, in the...
Yeah, I'll command him up.
It gets, sits up, crawls out, fumbles to the floor.
Stand.
It's a little awkward at first.
And then basically I'm going to give him a task, and I'm going to watch over him do it. I'm going to bring down, or I'll have a cup down there on the ground and a little dish. And I'm going to tell him, I would like you to pick up the cup, put it on the dish, pick up the dish, and bring it over to me and hand it to me.
What are these cups and dishes made out of?
What would be in the temple?
You could do ceramic or wood.
Ceramic, yeah. Or no, wood. We'll do wood.
All right, so the zombie goes over, picks up the cup, walks over to the what do you call it, the plate or whatever, and so just like drops it and like clatters and rolls off to the side, and then it picks up the plate and like walks over to you holding the plate with the cup like rolled off over there. It wasn't not a very elegant, it wasn't like a gentle place. It was like
Can I so we'll do this over a week, and every time I'll kind of like correct it and show it like the correct way to put it on the cup. Like let's say day 2, do I notice it's getting any better, or is it like do I think it's always going to be clumsy as fuck, or can it learn
as you practice with this creature? Well, first off, you have other duties that you do, right? So this isn't going to be all day, every day, right?
This will be like a nightly, like 1 or 2 hour adventure.
Okay.
We can even do this over like a week or a month.
Sure. Over a period of time, you practice. And it does not seem that the creature gets any smarter. It seems like at this point right now, with the spells that you know, it's a dumb as fuck zombie.
Yeah. Okay. But it will listen to the commands.
Absolutely.
Okay. I will command it the night before I go to bed to I'll close the chapel for a night. I think that's normal. Does it close at a normal time? Like let's say midnight, or is it always open?
That's up to you. Some temples will be open 24 hours a day in case someone needs some thoughts or prayers. And some places close up at night because there are money-grubbing thieves around. So
ever since I told it to be silent, has it made a noise?
Totally, yeah. It'll grumble from time to time. You'll give it a command to be silent, it'll be silent, and then later it'll like groan, and you'll tell it to be quiet, and it'll be quiet again. But it appears that it, in terms of memory, it's pretty short.
Trying to think what makes people groan. Like, do you make a groaning noise with the tongue? It's like the
back of the throat.
Back of the throat.
It's the vocal cords.
The vocal cords.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the necromancer. I guess I could. I'll leave that alone. They've taken a vow of silence. It's fine. They can groan every once in a while. Has a hello, yes, no. Okay.
Anyone else have anything in that first week that they would really want to do? Let's see what you got.
Absolutely. So, after the first day, Chives is wondering what happened to his books. So, he's going to walk over to the big pit before he goes to bed the first night. And there's bodies down there, right? Targetable bodies.
Uh-huh. I don't know what you mean by targetable, but there are bodies.
I need to burn 3 magic missiles, and I need something to shoot them at.
All right. You fire your magic missiles into the pit of corpses. The bodies twitch as the magic missiles strike them. Little bits of bodily fluid pop up into the air and fall around. Your spells are burned.
Perfect. I didn't want to fizzle those, and I didn't know what else to shoot them at. So, seemed like a good target as any. They're already decaying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then he's going to go back over to the keep the next morning after he's rememorized some spells, which will be which will be 1 ESP and 3 mounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna look around for the guy who I gave the books to. That's step 1. He was at the back part of the party. He was part of the little escort that came into town.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for him specifically.
You'll find him after a little while of looking about. The town's not that big these days.
Go, hey friend, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Just wanted to make sure those books and that letter made it to Confluence. I was going to head there in the morning and just wanted to make sure
Bob. Sent it there. Delivered it myself.
Perfect. Did the wizard get it?
I delivered it myself to the people at the castle. They said they wouldn't allow someone bringing suspicious packages in, but they promised they'd put it into his hands.
I understand. So just some guards at the front?
Yeah, I left it with the guards at the front.
Perfect. And then I'll say, thanks, friend, and I'll kind of head away, and then I'll start tapping a copper coin against my head, and then I'm going to try to read that guy's thoughts. As we kind of split directions, tap the copper, and then think about the guy in the other direction.
Yeah. His thoughts have immediately turned to this guy that runs this tavern, and oh my god, is this guy so fucking cute. Holy shit. I cannot wait to, but I mean, he's busy, he works, I don't have enough money to like go and flirt with the bartender, so like, how am I gonna get his attentions? Because like Neal's just the most attractive man I've ever met in my life, and like, oh my, that like unkempt beard, that I didn't do anything with my hair in the morning look, it's just, he's clearly lost in thought about this chill
good deal.
Guy.
So usually if there would have been a problem, or if he didn't deliver them, or they went somewhere else, that would have been on the front of his mind, I would imagine. So if he immediately went somewhere else, it wasn't something he was concerned about or needed to spend extra mental time on. So I'm assuming that they made it there.
He just moved on with his
immediately.
Thoughts.
Yeah, perfect. So I don't think I need to run those down. If they made it all the way there himself, that means that they didn't get intercepted on the way. They made it to Confluence, which is about the best I can worry about. That's all he needs to do for that day. I guess he doesn't need to travel from town to town.
Okay.
Chives is befuddled of what to do with the lack of currency flowing through the town right now. Because if he can't get people to come to the tavern, he can't get information, and he can't do his job.
Well, any ideas on that?
Yeah, I just don't know why. We can start selling the mead from the mead people to other places, but I need to head off to the other towns to do such an action, and I don't know. I guess he's going to sit and brew on it for about a day inside the tavern, so I guess 2 days go by.
Got it. Did anyone else have an action that they want to do in that first week, specifically?
I guess probably a little bit unspecifically. I guess the first thing that Valerio would probably start doing is he would probably start looking for either deputies or people that are of good fighting stock with decent, pretty good moral character that can be depended upon to, be guards.
That would be a really useful thing, but all the people who had a real backbone that lived in Meadstead got killed. And all the people with a good backbone in Latrine had already been pressed into service in the army. So you've got the unqualified,
Didn't some of
not
those guys
ready,
come with us?
no heart. Did they come with? Did you guys get some of the town guard from Latrine?
Yeah.
The only person that I
ones,
think we left was the owner, right?
the
We
owner-
got 4 or 5 town guardsmen from.
Well,
'cause remember
well.
they were in the
Yeah.
fight with us.
Yeah, I do believe you have 4 or 5 fully trained guards.
Yeah, they were guarding the caravan with us too as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I suppose those people would be my first picks for being like my immediate left and right hand man, people that can either also be guards. They'll probably have to do double duty as either guardsmen, gatekeepers, and then also reporting to me about crimes. They're probably going to be a bit stressed, and then during all of that. Yeah, right, exactly. Especially for the first few months. But during all of that, I'll be looking for, which is probably going to be slim pickings, but at least people of fighting age in the town that can be called upon to be either militia people or other people to supplement those.
And aren't you
real
also
guards.
training
Yeah.
little Bobby?
Yeah. In the in the off time and the little time that I have, I'll probably be checking up on him, seeing how his sword playing and his.
Well, I
his
have
martial skills are coming along.
a little thing for you. In the first week, someone comes to you saying that their neighbor hopped a fence and swiped 2 of their chickens, and they saw them. They saw them straight out. They hopped the fence, grabbed the chickens, hopped back on the other side, promptly ate the chickens. And the guy, was a little pissed, didn't know what to do, came to you, the sheriff. This event has happened maybe an hour or 2 ago.
An hour or 2 ago. So I would ask the man, bring me to the house of this thief that you say that you have seen stealing your food.
You get brought to the house of the thief, right next door from the house of the accuser.
And I'll bring one of my trusted guards people with me, and I'll knock on the door.
All right. The door opens, and out steps a husband, and the wife is right behind him.
Okay.
They look at you, and the husband says, "You're the new sheriff, right?"
I am. My name is Valerio. And then I immediately turn to the person that brought me here, and I say, "Is this the man that?"
That's him.
is this the
Yep,
thief?"
that's him. Fucking Brad. It's Brad. And Brad looks at the other guy and is like, "What do you mean?"
Did you steal his chickens?
What? No,
This
of
man
course
accuses
not.
you of theft. Wait. Did this person say that he ate the chickens or that
He stole the chickens, presumably
stole them, he
to
doesn't-
eat.
He doesn't know what happened to them? Okay.
Right.
All right. And this happened like an hour ago. So I tell the person, I say, you stand accused of theft. You say that you didn't steal these chickens. May I search around your house to see if these chickens are still here?
How would you know what his chickens look like? I have chickens too. They're the same thing.
Everybody has
It's a chicken's a
chickens?
chicken. The other guy says, "God damn it, Brad! I saw you hop the fence. You know it. I know it. Admit it." Brad's like, I don't know what's come over Clancy. Maybe he's a little stressed out from seeing so many bodies."
Wait, who's Clancy?
Clancy's the guy who reported the crime.
Oh, okay. Right. I basically I turn to Clancy, and I tell him currently the town guard is stretched thin. If you continue to have problems with this man, I will have one of my.
So what? You're not going to do anything about it? You're just going to let him steal my chickens?
At the moment, I cannot be I cannot be preoccupied with every single chicken theft that happens in the village.
Oh, now you're too good to enforce the law. I thought property rights were a thing.
Property rights are a thing, but there are other measures to be attended to. If this man steals from you, I will post a guard. You're
gonna have a guard watch my house day and night, really? What sort of state are we living in here, huh? Just gonna keep an eye on me?
Do you wish
Because some
me to do
jackass
something?
said, some crazy man said that I stole his chickens? You're just gonna start like following me everywhere I go? Is that it?
Do you wish me to do something or not? This is the most I can do at this time. If you have a problem with it, then...
Clancy's like, yeah, someone should keep an eye on this no-good troublemaker before he steals somebody else's something else.
All right, so I will ask one of the guardsmen to regularly patrol this area at regular intervals to make sure there's no funny business. But right now, there's not enough evidence for me to really do much at the moment.
That's fair.
So
I just wanted to see what you would do with a simple, he said, she said thing.
I mean, if you kill them both, no one owns the chickens.
That's
technically
true.
You should
I'm
have
gonna
done
run around and start cutting
Krob.
people's hands off right now.
What was it, like the King Saul like thing where he
Oh,
I don't remember what it was,
King
but I think
Solomon the Wise.
King Solomon, yeah.
right.
Cut the baby in half.
Yeah, it was the baby. But I don't think he cut the baby in half. I think he like was saying he was going to cut the baby in half, and one of them was like, "Yeah, that's fine, that's perfect, do it." And then he realized that one wasn't like the owner of it because the other person was crying.
Right.
So.
Two women both laid claim to the same child. He says, well, we'll just split the child evenly between the two of you. And one woman's like, fine, because she's really just doing it to spite the other woman. And the first woman's like, no, please don't kill the baby and give it to each of us. He's like, cool, we're going to give the baby to the woman who actually gives a shit about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Chives have some ideas.
Okay.
He's gonna talk with Neal. Well, Neal,
Yep.
I've been struggling what to do about our money problems here.
Yep.
Got to start turning one way or another, and I can't think of a way to give money just to one person versus another, and I don't have enough to give everybody. So I've got some ideas here. You tell me what you think.
Uh-huh.
We've got the dartboard in the corner, you know?
Uh-huh.
So what I'm thinking is we hold tournaments once a week for 10 silver. I'll pay for the first couple weeks, and we should be able to start sending at least some silver back out to the people, and that should start moving around a little bit.
All right.
So that
Dartboard
way
competition, huh?
Mm-hmm. That way people will have to come in to watch it, whether they win or what they lose, and they should be coming in at least once a week. We could get more money in here and a reason for them to come back.
All
That way
right.
we can at least start something.
Yeah. Hey, getting bodies in the door is the number one thing, they say.
It's true. Even if we're making just a little bit per person, we can maybe start with their quantity thing, because not everybody's good, which is important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
And
but
at
if
least
they're
that
not-
way they'll be used to coming in here when they do have money.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking here.
Love it. Love it.
So I'm going to dump 100 silver to Neal and be like, and while you're in here, if someone sounds like they're doing something too crazy, will you let me know? I mean, it's bad for all of us if people just start trying to burn something down or do anything too outlandish. I don't care about people stealing chickens. I don't care about people doing other things of that nature, but if they start getting too uppity, will you let me know?
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
I got a few
Neal.
things to do as well. If Jeff
All right.
doesn't have anything.
No, I do got some stuff. Got to take the horse out. Got to take Dale for a spin. See how this is going out. Actually,
How he handles.
yeah, how he handles. Also, what's the land around here look like? I haven't done much west of the river yet, so it's probably where I'll start.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You can start traveling the areas west of the river. You will find lots of...
Probably do that for like the first week.
There's a few villages out there. Some of them are completely abandoned, have clearly
Whoa.
been like overrun by undead. Some of them are sort of untouched by all the chaos and commotion. And then there's, of course, some in the middle ground. You can start getting the lay of the land, finding the rivers, the valleys, the do you call it? The watering holes.
Okay. I'm just out there wandering around.
Mm-hmm. Cool. See if you have any encounters with your 1.3 horsepower horse. Oh, I closed my encounter table already. Oh no.
Yeah, I gotta do some traveling too. That was just my one day with Neal.
32. Yeah, on day 4 of riding your horse about, you spot... Actually, hold on, give me a perception check and make a good one. It would be terrible if Jeb died all of a sudden during our, like, epilogue.
That would be pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Uh-oh. There is a pride of lions, but you do not see them as they... Well, hold on, they get a perception check too. Hold on.
I feel like I'm also faster than the Pride of Lions, though.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, they will spot you.
It's the short distance you gotta worry about. The long, you got them for sure.
Yeah, you can easily outrun the lions if they can't ambush you here. Lion. L-I-O-N. No, it's under cat. ABC. Cat. Great cat. Lion. Common lion. Ride size 2d6. 1 and 2. Alright, it's 3 lions. How do 3 lions feel about a man on a horse? Are they hungry lions? We're gonna give them... Roll me 2d10 for their reaction and just.
Alright, sure. Yeah. 16.
Ooh. They are cautious around you. Right on the border of threatening. They're looking at you. You can't see them. That's some good horse flesh. And there's just one of them all alone, but there's that person on the back. One of the lions will go forward. I guess your horse gets a perception check too. It's got sights and sounds and senses.
Sure.
Give me a d20 plus 11 for your horse. Ooh, yeah. All right, so the first lion begins to slink up on you, real low to the ground. You don't even notice it. You're looking out northward at something else that was moving over there that you're trying to get a look at. Is it a gazelle? Is it a chimera? And that's when your horse, your, what do we call it? High-spirited lone rider horse starts to get a little spooky. It starts to move itself out from underneath you a little bit, like moving to the side, and makes a noise with its head as it thrashes about.
All right, I'd say I'd know when an animal's agitated about something. That trigger another perception check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. You'll see the lion. It's maybe 50 feet away from you, and as you look towards it, it does the like, my paw's halfway, but I'm stopped and I'm frozen. And I'm not a person. I'm inanimate.
All right. So, then I'll probably just like get the horse going, pull out my short bow, and just be watching the lion. I'm gonna take off in another direction.
Yeah, the lion will roll over on its back like it was just gonna take a sun nap anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
And you can keep your distance from them, but there's a moment where you almost get plowed by some lions. Okay. Yeah, you can start to get the lay of the land here.
Perfect.
Mr. Ebna.
I got a few things to do. I'm gonna do Speak with Dead on it during my week or whatever we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
You are level 6. The necromancer's been dead more than a week. Your Speak with Dead will not trigger nothing on it.
I'll do telepathy on it.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay.
Nope.
No memory read.
Nope.
Got it. I'll analyze its balance.
It is 2 off of center.
And I'll detect evil on it.
Oh yeah, it's evil.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
No age.
0? 100? A million? Infinity? Negative? You get like a discombobulated reading. You get like red
thing.
Is your reading. You're like, red's not an age. What are you talking about?
Okay. I'm going to stone shape. Basically, I'm going to remove the door from the catacombs, and I'm going to use stone shape to get in and out of the catacombs. Does that make sense?
So you're creating a new way into and out of the catacombs?
Creating the only way into and out of the catacombs.
Okay, so you're closing off the passage that is the typical entrance route that comes from within the temple itself, and you're creating a new exit, just to the outside somewhere else.
A new entrance into the. So I would assume, like, to get to the catacombs, you walk into the temple and then you turn right, and then there's like a door that'll lead you down. I'm getting rid of the door and making it just a wall, and then the way I'm going to get in and out is stone shaped through that wall.
Okay, so the stone shape spell will change the shape of the stone, but the shape is permanent. So you'd have to, like, stone shape an opening and then stone shape it closed again, I believe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so it'll take 2 castings to enter and close the door behind you.
Yeah, so I'll just have 2 castings of stone shape.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to try fire trapping the zombies' bandages and its hood.
So that if the bandages are removed, it'll explode?
Yeah.
Okay. The
I will
hood
try
is not
this-
so much an openable, closable thing, right? You have it on or off, but, like, it's not
I'm
quite
guessing, like, if you take it off,
closed.
that's a blow up. I don't know if that's fine.
Aren't you concerned about, like, a slight wind blowing it off, or if the zombie, like, falls over and the hood just falls off on its own?
I guess I'll just do it on the bandages then.
Okay.
And I'd like to test this on a bandaged hand or something. I'm sure that the dumb Baron guy gave me all the hands to go and deal with and bury.
Yeah.
So I'll bandage up a hand, fire trap it, and then I'll open it and see if it blows up.
It will. Yeah, if you put fire trap on some bandages and then begin to unwrap the bandages, it will explode on you.
That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to use stone shape to get in and out of that thing. I don't have anything else right now. The detect evil on it and seeing it radiate evil is interesting. I will try one more thing, actually. I will sanctify an area, and I will have my zombie person come into the sanctified area and see if it radiates a holy aura, because it should if it's like a servant of my god, which I would think it would be.
For the followers of the deity, the area radiates a holy aura. These followers gain a +2 bonus to saving throws against all fear, all charm based. Persons of the same alignment. Undead creatures within the area are easier to turn. Any priest standing on the ground turns as if they were 1 level higher. Okay, so you sanctify an area.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
And then I beckon the zombie to come over into my area.
I think it can walk into a sanctified area, I believe. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it'll radiate a holy aura, because in my idea, it would be a follower of the deity by almost definition.
Right. So you've tried these experiments. You've got your stone shape in and out. Mm-hmm. You sanctify an area. You bring the zombie in, and it does not radiate anything.
Interesting.
It radiates nothing. Which actually brings us to a point that I wanted to get to with you. One of these days... Well, first off, all of this is happening underground, right? Nobody knows that you've done this. Nobody's...
Yeah. I might have shared it with Valerio. Like, I'm not trying to keep it, I guess, hidden with him or any of my party members that I've told that I am experimenting to see if these are truly, like, evil beings or if they can be... I'm basically, I'm not trying to keep it like a super secret from Valerio, I guess.
Right. So one of these days, while you're talking to your people and being a priest, one of the survivors from Meadstead makes mention to you that while they were like during a confession or something,
Sure.
while occupied by the necromancer, they were serving as the necromancer's like butler. But in order to serve as the necromancer's butler, the necromancer had to mark him, and he'll show you there's a burn on the back of his neck, like a branding. And he said that this branding mark is what allowed him to not be noticed by the undead. Like it was some sort of sign or symbol, some sort of magic rite that allowed the undead creatures to treat him as friendly, essentially.
So or like his holy symbol or unholy symbol.
Right, something like that.
Was how I would take it.
Yeah, and he's, in the meantime, he's talking to you about forgiveness because he was working with this person who murdered all these other people and he feels terrible about it, yada, yada, yada.
Ebner is incredibly intrigued by the brand and stops listening to him almost entirely and lets him yada, yada, and then asks to see it.
And he will pull back his collar and show you the marking. It is 2 concentric circles with a long horizontal line through the middle of them that extends out on either end.
Okay. Ebner will cast Cure Light Wounds on it to see if it will go back in time and heal it. Undo the scar, undo the brand.
It fades a little bit. It's now just like a gentle scar tissue around it. It's no longer a deep set burn mark.
Awesome to come back once a week, and I'll see if 7 more castings of it will do anything, or if it just.
I think over time it'll heal, but it's a slow. It's really marked into him as a person. It's a magical rune on a person's flesh, so it takes a little while longer than you might expect to heal.
Okay, I'll heal it. I'll stone shape a pulley symbol, put it on like a chain or something, shitty chain. Put it over the zombie. Bless the zombie, tell it follows Tempos, sanctify an area, and see if that'll make it radiate holy aura. Out of curiosity.
No.
No,
this creature is still just a seemingly mindless thing, and it hasn't interacted with anybody else. You're not sure if it would attack another person on sight or if it would wait for your command.
I guess I'll try and research a cleric spell. I mean, maybe I'll ask Tempos, like, see if he can make me a spell or something to tie these creatures to him and his will. I guess my big goal with like this prayer or whatever to him would be to make these creatures not of evil descent, more of followers and one of Tempos is the spell that I will attempt to get. I guess something to bless him into being a being of Tempos is what I'd go for.
Right. I think that might be a nice story arc for us to hold on for now.
Yep.
Ebner has been working with the undead, trying to get them to be the servants he wants them to be, but it's going to require research, study, practice, possibly seeing what other people have done, and looking for outside input on these things. But it's all being conducted in secret so as not to disturb the townsfolk.
Correct.
As we bring the session in, not quite for close yet, is there any other big stuff that you guys want to hit? Any other like a month out, 2 months out things? Chives?
Yeah.
I feel like you got something probably.
Yeah, I want to start heading around to the people who make the meat around town and start getting a gauge. Well, I don't know if we need to roleplay all this, but start needing a gauge of how much they can make over a period of time, and start seeing if I can start exporting that to the local nearby towns of sorts to see how much I could actually go and start buying from them and selling other places to start trying to move money in some way, shape, or form, as well as start moving chives.
Certainly, the production of honey has not ceased, so they are working and making mead, and it's just sort of like piling up around them because there's not as much call for it, but their production hasn't really slowed.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to buddy Neal and say, "Hey Neal,
Yeah, what's
in
up, man?
our exchanges with these local carpenters, do we think we have enough to get a couple carts made, or at least a cart?"
A cart? Yeah, totally. What do you need a cart
So
for?
yeah, so what I'm thinking here is I'm gonna start selling some of the mead from our surrounding area to the other taverns and start bringing back in some more money into the town to help kind of fund what we're doing as well as to get money flowing here.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely need a cart. I can deal with the horses by myself for now, but I'm trying to work through this here. If I get a cart, I've got the mead. I can control the horses to get here and there. I don't know if I'm going to need anybody else to kind of keep up with this. I don't want to be the one running it all the time. But do you know anybody we could trust to help out with this? Do you have anybody around town you think would be good for this?
Helping you drive wagons around?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go and set up the original
yeah.
deals, but I need I need somebody to keep it up. I don't want to micromanage this per se, if you will.
Bernadette. That's
Bernadette?
the woman. Bernadette, yep. She's a short girl, curly hair. You'll recognize her right away. Kind of a what do you call it? A squeaky voice sort of chick. She's good with the horses, knows the way around, and ever since the necromancer came, she's got a nasty leg wound, never really healed properly, got too much of a limp to be as to all that useful in the fields. She's been working as a tailor and is not doing well at it. Let's say sewing is not her job, but she can sit and she's good with animals. So driving wagons seems to be the right way to do it.
Well, we're about 50% of the way done, I guess. I don't want to send her off on her own if she's not very good on one leg. If something comes after her, she's going to be awful, how do you say? Open.
Right. Okay. Well, what about...
I don't mind her driving the carts. That's a good start, but I would rather have somebody riding next to her. One would call it shotgun if there was such a thing.
She's got a little brother. He's maybe 16 now. Maybe not quite old enough to be a guardsman, but close to it.
Well, you got to start somewhere, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll go give him a holler. Are they which direction?
He'll give you directions to Bernadette and Wiley's house. Other people live there too, but that's the two of them.
I'll head on over and find Bernadette and Wiley.
Yep.
Well, Bernadette, I was talking with my buddy Neal down at the tavern, and he said you weren't really getting along with sewing very well.
You mean he didn't like the shirt?
I think he liked the shirt. I think he was just looking after you, if you will. I've got some wagon driving I need done, and I was hoping you might be the person for it.
Uh-huh.
I've got some mead that I need to transport from around here to some of the local towns here in a few weeks. And I was hoping that I could pay you to drive my wagons and keep this up. Do you think that's something you could be a part of?
I can drive a wagon.
All right. Well, I don't want to send you off on your own. Do you have anybody you'd want to take with you? I heard your younger brother was getting kind of old and might be getting used to using a sword, maybe?
I mean, he can swing a stick. I don't know about a sword, but yeah, he likes to make believe with sticks with his friends.
Well, I think Valerio in town was teaching little Bobby how to use a sword quite properly, and I'm sure he could use a sparring partner. If I were to set that up while he's in town, do you think you could, you and him, maintain my roots for me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, here in a few weeks, I'm going to come back by and see you for a new job.
Great.
All right. Well, I'll be back here in a few weeks, and I'll head off. I imagine that our small council meeting's here pretty soon, and I don't want to run out of town before that goes down.
Right, so you'll have these meetings, the small council meetings. There's not much happening at them. It's just like, here's the facts and figures of what's happening in the town. Here's like the list of crimes. Here's the dangers. Here's the, births, and just going over all of the things. I don't think it's particularly interesting to roleplay at this point in time while things are fairly peaceful. We can gloss over it. All
right. Well, then Chives needs to take a trip over to, I guess we're going to do Tharnham first.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna magic mount himself and run on over there.
All right, you can go by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Yeah, you can get to Tharnum.
All right, cool. When I get to Tharnum, we've been to one tavern already, which I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I'll go in and see. I can't remember the guy's name either. That's escaping me.
You can find the same tavern, and you can have a chat with them.
All right. And I'd like to sell him some of the ale. Or the mead from Meadstead, which is the best in the area. And we're going to try to mark it up like 250%.
Ooh. A 250% markup probably won't go down. They'll definitely buy it for you at like a wholesale price. Large markups might be a little bit problematic.
I guess 250 of what I'm paying for it. So is that too much?
I mean, the specifics I don't want to get too into the weeds on of like what markups are going to be. But you can, if you want, you can wholesale mead to them at a higher price than you would buy it and transport it.
All right, as long as it pays
profitable.
For my profitable. Yeah. As long as it's profitable, that's cool. So I'm going to start doing it to Tharnum and then find a place in Confluence as well. So that way there's shipments going both directions all the time.
Yeah, you can get some exporting of mead to the nearby towns. It's probably not going to be as much as being produced. It'll take them a while to start selling it enough that they'll get a call that they'll want more orders. But you can get some money this way and bring in a little bit of extra income and get your name out there.
Perfect. So as that gets set up, I'm gonna have Neal deal with the day-to-day with Bernadette, Bertha. I can't remember.
And Wiley. Yeah,
Bernadette and Wiley. I'll have Neal pay them like he pays anybody else and keep them in the books. Keep track of this business for me. I'm going to use Neal as my bookkeeper unless he tells me he's not going to do it. Let me rephrase it that way.
Yeah, he's happy to keep your books.
Perfect.
He's doing all of the money handling anyway, so it just makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah. And then Chives is going to bounce back and forth between those three taverns and just listen for news during his time. He spend more time in Meadstead than the other two, probably like a 2/3, 1/3 split between all of them. But if you were to look for Chives, he's 66% of the time in Meadstead and a third in the others.
All right. I think this is probably a good place to leave us. This will give us some quest leads that we can come back to if we do come back in a future date. And it will give us some things to work on in the future for your characters, like places that they will be going. I'd like to leave them in the middle of some sort of onward venture. So why don't we take our very last break of the show, and when we come back, we'll do some questions and answers with chat and some sort of just chatting and closing things out and talking about the game and whatnot. Yeah. And that'll be that for the foreseeable future. So we'll be back in a short break. It'll actually be short, and then we'll chit chat a bit. See you on the other side.
Good.